Hello everyone, this is ClouD giving you a shoutcast in a game between Morrow and ClouD here on Tall Dream Altar. And even to myself, my voice does sound a little bit strange. Perhaps I'm wearing my headset, but I am definitely under the weather. But I know for these particular games and shoutcasting, if I don't at least try to get one best of three series done a day, then I am going to quickly fall behind. You can take a look over here. Morrow does spawn as the green Zerg. Meanwhile, the red Terran is down over here, ClouD. And just want to check one thing. Yeah, actually, apparently this one tree still shows up as a dead tree. I don't know if that's still the case for Terran versus Zerg. If a Terran player can quickly find out where a Zerg player is based upon the dead brush, it could be because I've already seen that tree myself, since I do have vision. But anyway, let's get back into into this game. Now, ClouD versus Morrow. Morrow did a really good job playing in the last matchup, where he was playing against a Terran player and simply just overran. I believe it was it Phoenix? It may have been Phoenix here with a lot of roaches, and we'll see if he sticks to that same strategy. A lot of Terran players like to try to go Hellions now, not expecting that their opponent are going to go roaches, and because of the large map, Terran players like Hellions, as those Hellions do move around very, very quickly. A drone now moving out in order to scout as well. Morrow has really changed up his strategy as of late. Recently, I've seen him do a lot more macro style of play against Protoss. There was a game, Morrow versus, I think it was Hasu. And he just did a really great job. Even though he did take a lot of losses in the early portion of the game, he was still able to get back into it and really come out with that win. I think it was the spoiler video from the last set. Meanwhile, the drone's still wandering around here. We are going to be getting that barracks. We are upgrading to an orbital command as ClouD training up that first Marine. That Marine should be able to shut down this drone pretty easily, as a second Marine will be coming out as well. Morrow, with a hatchery of his own, and most likely will transfer some queens over in just a few seconds. Also getting another supply depot on the front. That one Marine going to be in a very dangerous situation. He needs to be very careful. He needs to shoot down that one drone and trying to get as many kills as possible. It looks like that drone, not going to be able to grow up to be an extractor, and quickly destroyed there. So the scouting location has been revealed, but ClouD doesn't know what's really going on just quite yet. ClouD now going into that factory, so Hellions may be coming out in just a moment. I don't see a reactor off of the barracks yet, but that may be in the near future, as Morrow building up this hatchery here and getting an extractor and a spawning pool. Pretty standard play by Morrow. We'll see if he goes for a lot of Zerglings or if he just goes for roaches. He is getting that queen right now, knowing that his opponent, he saw one Marine and that was it. And I guess this is one of those instances where you play with the map in mind, knowing that your opponent is so far across the map that he's not going to really be able to get that much damage. And a drone quickly making its way up the ramp sees the Marines and deciding to back off. It looks like it's going to park itself at this Zelnaga watchtower. No, coming around the backside instead to figure out what ClouD is going to be doing. SCV still wandering around on the inside here, as you still don't see any army units coming out from Morrow. Morrow only training drones so far, and he's going to be able to get a lot of roaches out in just a moment, especially if he starts spawning larvae. He'll have a decent economy and also a very strong a decent economy and a very strong army in just a matter of moments. But Morrow playing a very, very safe game at this time, hoping that his opponent isn't going to be putting any pressure. And I guess this is just him playing the game right there as a Hellion currently being trained. No blue flame research just quite yet, as a siege tank also coming out. The Hellion more as a scout instead of anything else, so it's going to be Marine tank coming in from ClouD all the way across the map. Meanwhile, we are going into a tech to tier 2 already. So Morrow going to tier 2 before even one army unit has been trained up. You can see 0 army units so far. A second queen now making its way over here, as that spine crawler perhaps going to try to, or that Hellion going to try to run by that spine crawler. It's not going to really work, as the spine crawler is now up. Another spine crawler now coming into position, and Morrow with one spine crawler and another one morphing along the way, and 2 queens, knows that he can fend off that attack pretty easily, and now also connecting the 2 bases with creep. You can see that there's also additional extractors coming into play, 2 extra extractors there, and 1-0 creep tumor quickly getting destroyed. Is he actually going to take down the creep tumor? It doesn't look like he will be able to, as it is currently being built. And now the queen is able to pressure it off. We are going into a spire now. So Morrow are going to have a spire up at about the 9-minute mark with a lot of Mutalisk. You can see him now getting those extractors up at the natural expansion as well. And if he saves up his gas for the next couple of minutes or so, next minute before the spire is done, he should have somewhere in the realm of 500 to 600 gas, 6 Mutalisks before any missile turrets are up. And only a few Marines, even especially without Stim, is not going to be able to deal that much damage. There is a starport and another barracks finally coming into play. And now, double siege tanks, Marines on the move. Siege tank, siege tech about to be completed. One medevac as well, as the Marines now just roll on out. Queen now back over here, just continuing to spawn larva. We are going to get about 500 gas right as that time comes. That spire 10 seconds away, so almost 600 gas. Now also saving up a couple minerals as well, getting additional overlords as those units are on the move. The siege tank most likely just going to try to start sieging and blasting away up onto the high ground here, as there are 2 spine crawlers in this position. So the spine crawlers are going to prevent any of these siege tanks from really being able to make it over there, as ClouD now doing the classical cliffing as a Terran player, trying to deal damage towards these drones. The drones now being forced to pull back. Spine crawlers are going to reroute themselves just within combat range almost. Oh no, just outside of combat range. It looks like Morrow knows the range absolutely perfectly, as Mutalisks and Zerglings are going to be trying to swarm in along the far side as well. Mutalisks now making their way out, Zerglings now coming in as well. SCV down over here, and a lot of damage is being dealt across or towards this hatchery at this time. Not much of anything else. Siege tanks still hitting over here, putting a lot of pressure, but I believe Zerglings are now going to be coming in, and there's not enough units back at home. ClouD is in trouble, as the Zerglings are now just going after those SCVs. Marines now back over here. The units are desperately in retreat now. The main hatchery at the natural expansion has been taken down already, as the units are now coming back to try to salvage this game. But Morrow doing a nice tactical hit, dealing damage towards the SCV line. ClouD currently not mining any minerals at all, being forced to cancel the additional barracks as the Mutalisks go after more and more SCVs, and while the worker kills are just going to continue to ramp up higher and higher. Already 21 workers down now, as the Mutalisks being forced to pull away once more. The SCVs, one of them getting quickly shot down there, and Morrow having a definite lead. And ClouD says GG, knowing that the Mutalisks, there's just too many Mutalisks to really deal with. More Mutalisks most likely on the way. No? Oh yeah, 2 more Mutalisks coming on the way as well, and that would have just been simply too much. And ClouD losing to Morrow on Game 1 in this best of 3 matchup. Stay tuned for Game 2.